Hey, it's Tea with Shannon Sheree. So, very, very interesting. This is some tea. This is some tea. If I had my mug, I would just have it right here, Kermit, right on my shoulder. Um, I was watching the Justice or Else March, and Minister Farrakhan, he got real heated too, when he was talking about it. He put bass in his voice. He talked about this long, and I've always wondered about it because I've heard about it. I've heard people talk about it. I've read about it. The whole, and I'm call it a beef. It's not a beef because both these folks are dead. Or is the honor? Well, I want to refer to him as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I don't know if he's dead. I don't want to put that rumor out, but they've always said that he had Malcolm X killed because Malcolm X spoke out about some of Mr. Muhammad's transgressions, and we all have our own transgressions. We all do. Lord knows I do. But here's the deal for some of you who don't know what that beef was or what was said. And this is just the part that I know. There could be more. So again, hit me up. We'll talk about it. But one of the main things that Malcolm X talked about was the fact that Elijah Muhammad had many, many wives, and had a bunch of kids by all these women. And was just kind of challenging the Nation of Islam, saying if we're supposed to respect our women like this and love our women, and the woman is the queen and she's this, then how can you stand against your flock and your people and say this and yet treat women and do women in the manner in which you did? And that was one of Malcolm X's bones that he had with Elijah Muhammad. And so Louis Farrakhan addressed that, and it was so interesting. And I don't want to jack it up, so I'll give you a little preview so you can hear it. But he went to say something on the lines of a man who would make or have children. Listen, I'm not even going to jack it up because there's your preview.
We who are getting older, and I'm speaking now of myself and my generation, what good are we if we don't prepare young people to carry the torch of liberation to the next step? What good are we if we think we can last forever? There are some elders that are not worthy to pass on the legacy of their cowardice to our young people. Black woman, you are not the second self of man alone. You are the second self of God. And as the second self of God, any man that would disrespect a female is an enemy of God, because she is the greatest gift from God to a man.
But it was interesting how he kind of connected the fact that a man who would impregnate a woman and then ask her to get an abortion or have her live all the way on the other side of town, he's not a good man because he's hiding something. He's trying to hide a lie and a secret. But the fact that Elijah Muhammad had many wives and people knew about it, and he birthed all his children and he took care of the kids, and he even bought the children on stage. And beautiful sons, handsome men, and talked about the children, and they all were doing great and positive things. And he, was saying this man, yes, had the many wives, and yes, he, helped create many kids. However, he took care of every single one of them, didn't shun any of them, didn't deny any of them. He took care of them. They were all well fed. And, I dig it because I come from a single parent household. My dad wasn't there. But I don't know. I don't, and I had a conversation with a guy that I know, and we talked about the whole, polygamy lifestyle. And And it was interesting because one of the things he said is we have to go back to our ancestors in Africa and how they studied polygamy, because all this sister wives on TV, like, I can't get with that. I'm sorry. I don't know. And the woman nature in me, I'm not sharing my man with another man. I don't care what the deficit is, how many men to women there. I'm not sharing my man knowingly and willingly. I'm sorry, I've never liked sharing. I'm an only child. My mother will tell you. I've learned to share tangible things, food, you need money, I have it, I'll give it to you. That's fine. I'll share that. My man, my boo, sorry, not gonna happen. And to like just bear kids for a guy and know he's like out here just having kids, I don't know. And I just wonder how some of these women slept at night. I just really, really wonder. And I saw, and speaking of that, I was, and I have to always talk about it. Well, no, I'm gonna save that for another topic. But I've always just wondered how some of those women felt, because just a woman's very nature, not always having the man that she loves, because women, we're emotional. We think with our emotions, we feel with our emotions. And for some of these women, how did they feel not always having their man there next to them at night when things got hard? They wanted to have a sounding board. How did it feel? So, I mean, shout out to all the women who were doing that polygamy thing. If I had a hat, I'd take it off, because I can't do it. I'd have to go to jail, and I'm saying it proudly. And my mother would need a lot of bail money, because I'm not going. Sorry, I'm not. You've heard it here. Tea with Shannon Sheree. She's not going. Sorry. Love you guys.